I am Brad Keelor. She is Ghada Ellithy. We are live at Geo-Extreme 2025 in Long Beach, California. Coming up next on Director's Cut, you're going to find out some special places that you should visit the next time you're in Egypt. Hello again, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Director's Cut. My name is Brad Keelor. I'm the director of the Geo-Institute, and that is why we call this show Director's Cut. Every single week, except 1 week at the holidays and during the summer, I sit down with a different GI member who has stories to tell. Some of those stories are personal, some are professional, but all of them are fun, 100%. If you don't know anything about the Geo-Institute, after you watch this interview today, head over to geoinstitute.org, and there you are going to learn some amazing things, including that we are a technical society with about 12,000 members, most of whom are geotechnical engineers and or geologists, and that we are part of the American Society of Civil Engineers. And if you like what you see today, and I always feel like you will, you should click like, subscribe, and get notifications, and we'll let you know every time we post something to the YouTube channel. Now, viewers, you will notice I am not in my house, I am not in my office. We are in Long Beach, California at Geo-Extreme 2025. We're right in the middle of the conference. It's been a great week. We're going to talk a little bit more about that later. My guest from the Geo-Extreme 2025 Program Committee and a faculty member at Embry Riddle Aeronautical University, which again, we'll talk a little bit about that later, in Florida. It is Ghada Ellithy. Ghada, thank you for doing this.
No, thank you for inviting me to this wonderful talk.
We're going to have a great time today, just like every week on Director's Cut, and we've got 10 questions, just like every week, and 2 of them are the same. As we ask everybody, we have to start with one of those. Describe your job in 45 seconds.
Sure. Okay. So I'm an assistant professor of geotechnical engineering at Embry Riddle Aeronautical University. I do teach research in service, approximately 20%. I teach undergrad, grad level courses. I mentor students. We have relatively small program, so I get to sit down with students one-on-one. I also I'm the director of the Advanced Geotechnical Lab. As far as research, I try to establish industry partnership. I try to collaborate with other departments within the College of Engineering, other colleges within the university, kind of to fulfill the overarching mission of the university, which is the arena or the field of aviation and aerospace. For service, I sit on a couple of committees university-wide. I'm the advisor of some of student organizations. So that's about it.
Pretty good.
I did 45 minutes.
Perfect.
45 seconds.
And we will talk more about why you're at Embry Riddle and why there's a geotech at Embry Riddle and why there's a lab in a little bit, because I hope some of the viewers right now are like, huh?
Yeah.
We will answer all your questions later.
Sure.
But Director's Cut, there's a lot of fun questions on here too. Here we are at a conference, Geo-Extreme 2025. Everybody, I think, has different habits when they go to one of these things. Ghada, describe your ideal day at a conference.
Sure. My habits align very well with the agenda of the program of the conference. I guess the organizers have figured out how to put an ideal program.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, for many years, right? So I start with a plenary talk in the morning. Parallel technical sessions, so you can go from one panel to the other, listen to one talk presentations, and of course meet old colleagues, friends, talk about research and what you're going to do in the future and things like that. So, I mean, that's my ideal day at the conference.
How much planning do you do when you go to an event? Because I'm the type of person that does almost nothing. Like, if I have to speak, I figure that out, I guess.
Right.
But when I get there, I mean, I got to the airport here. We organized this conference, Ghada, and I got to the airport here and did not know what hotel I was going to.
Right.
How much planning do you do before you go to an event?
No, I do a little bit more planning than that. I guess like a couple of days before I go, I definitely make sure that I have my presentation if I'm contributing a paper. Kind of rehearse a little bit. I look at the program and decide ahead what talks I want to, attend, and so that's how I plan it.
You're like our perfect conference attendee. We need to clone you because this was good.
Yeah.
Everybody out there, Ghada plans exactly the way you should when you
Right.
come to one of our conferences.
Yeah,
this was perfect.
Because you think, I mean, you're away from your daily routine and teaching and this and that. And of course, if you're missing a teaching day, you have to assign exams for the students during that day. So you have to, find proctors. And anyway, so I plan for it, and I try to make the best out of my days at the conference.
That's an amazing answer. I
Yes.
love that. So for all of our viewers, you know that the third question is always the research and practice question. This week is no different. We're going to talk about your research, Ghada.
Yes.
And we are at Geo Extreme. And one of the things I love about this event is it's about as interdisciplinary as a geotech conference can possibly be. So can you talk a little bit about how your work now relates to extreme events?
Sure. So one of the areas of my research interest is erosion or erodibility of non-cohesive soils. I started this work when I was working with the Army Corps of Engineers. So I'm still working on that, but I'm taking it one further step where we're looking at the effect of the wall shear on the erosion of soils. So we have a wave lab, a flume, and we're conducting several trials where we have the sensors, the prototype sensors. They can measure the shear stress under the flowing water. And I'm relating this to some previous studies that I did, relating the wall shear and how is it affecting the erodibility of the soils. That's what I'm doing. I'm doing other things as well related to geosynthetics. Again, it's one of these areas that I started a long time ago. My PhD was on geosynthetic interfaces in West Virginia University, and I also worked for a geosynthetic company, and I was an R&D engineer. I did a lot of R&D on the applications as well as the products themselves. Geogrids for stabilization, earthostabilization, also geocomposites for drainage under pavements, landfill liners, landfill caps. So I did all of that, and also I'm working now on using the geogrids for unpaved roadway using a cyclic triaxial testing. One of the interesting areas that I'm working on right now is the trafficability of lunar regolith, because that relates again to aviation and aerospace kind of theme of the university. And the aerospace engineering is the largest department of the College of Engineering. So I'm collaborating with one of the professors there, and we're trying to correlate what we understand about sands and trafficability on sands, or mobility of sands of vehicle, to the rovers on the moon or on Mars.
I could talk about regolith all day.
Yeah.
Viewers of the show will know one of my favorite things, I guess anything to do with aerospace and space, but really,
Okay.
the follow-up question that I want to ask you is actually more about facilities, though, because Embry-Riddle is not a massive research institution. You mentioned that you've got a flume and everything, but I would imagine there are a lot of times where you need access to facilities that other larger research institutions have. How do you go about that? How do you go about building those relationships?
Well, I believe the university at the higher, the offices there, they're trying to get Embry Riddle to be more, I think we are at R2 tier now and maybe advancing to R1 tier. We have also, one of the good things about Embry Riddle is that they have many programs that encourage undergrad research. So we have those undergrad, like a lot of research that is done by undergrad, and some of them are really very good. And we, move to master's and then PhD. Like, for example, the civil engineering program has started more than 30 years ago at Embry Riddle, but it wasn't until 5 years ago when I, joined the program, we started this geotechnical or advanced geotechnical lab. So now we have a cyclic track, so we have all, the nice soil testing equipment. So we're getting there. As far as the regolith, we buy the regolith and we put it in some, smaller container. We're doing a cone penetrometer test on it. But then eventually maybe we can use the Florida Space Institute, which is in Orlando. We can use some of their facility to, make more like testing on a larger scale. But currently we're doing just a small scale testing.
Perfect. And that goes right into the next question, which is maybe the one that people have been thinking about since they started watching this. Embry Riddle Aeronautical University. What's a geotech doing there anyway? How did you get there, and how does your program, you used the word mission earlier on. How does the geotech program, and I guess the civil program, contribute to the mission of the university?
Yes, right. Okay, well, first of all, a geotech track has to be one of the tracks in a civil engineering program to be ABIT accredited. Right. So it's there because of that. And as I mentioned, the civil engineering program was there for more than 30 years as part of the College of Engineering. And civil engineering, it's an integral part of many of our infrastructure, whether it has to do with the, like bridges or roadways. And for aviation, we're the only program, I think, in nation that teaches airport design and airfield design and rehabilitation at undergraduate level. If you think about the space mission supporting infrastructure like launchpads for rockets. So this is part of the graduation senior design graduation project. We're actually servicing like the mission of aviation and aerospace, but at the same time we're teaching basic civil engineering curriculum as far as structures, geotechnical, environmental, transportation. So we're there to stay.
I like that. And a great location, because you're not too far from Kennedy Space Center.
Correct.
Fantastic. So if anybody wants to pay a visit down there, you can go to Embry Riddle, you could go to Kennedy Space Center, you can go to the beach.
Yes.
I think that's a pretty big draw. I guess Orlando, if you really wanted to do that.
Yes.
But
right.
Embry Riddle is a good place to come visit, I think.
Sure.
Before you were at Embry Riddle, though, you worked for the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers.
Correct.
And you were there for several years. I think this question could go a lot of different ways, either public service or just the ability to do research and probably not have to teach at the same time. I don't know.
Yeah.
What was the most rewarding aspect of your time working for the Corps?
Sure. So I think knowing that my work is directly contributing to public safety and protecting communities. And I worked at two different offices of the Army Corps of Engineers. I started as a design engineer, design lead at the Seattle district. And I worked there for 4 years approximately. So I was doing levee inspection, dam risk assessment, mitigation for risks of dams, other facilities like fish passages. Maybe, I don't know, you don't know that this is a great deal, fish passages in many of our dams on the rivers. And then when I moved to Vicksburg, Mississippi, which is where the Engineer Research and Development Center is, I focused more on research. So again, knowing that you have a direct contribution to safety and protecting communities, that's very rewarding.
What was the feel like at ERDIC in Vicksburg? I mean, I always have kind of imagined it sort of almost like a campus with no students because everybody's there doing research. Is that what it was like for you? Or?
Yes, I mean, at Vicksburg we have five labs. One of them is the Geotechnical Structures Lab. This is where I worked. We have the Coastal and Hydraulic Lab. We have the Environmental Lab, Computers Lab, or High Computational Lab. I forgot what was the fifth one, but yes, it's a 30,000 square foot campus. And we have large facilities, testing facilities for pavement, for like flumes, for hydraulics. Yes, it's huge. It's big.
Very cool.
Yes.
The other question that we ask everybody when they come on Director's Cut is about their ASCE and GI history.
Yes.
So how did you first get involved in ASCE and GI?
Sure. I believe that I started like seriously getting involved with GI when I was working with Shannon and Wilson in Seattle. I started volunteering for the Seattle chapter, GI Seattle chapter, for a couple of years. After that, I became education chair, then vice president, then president. It was 2013, and that's like 12 years ago. And of course, the main activity for us was this monthly dinner meetings, spring seminar. We had very good ones, and Dr. Holtz actually was an advisor for us. I enjoyed interacting with him and learning a lot of stuff from him as well. And after that, I think when I moved with the Corps of Engineers, I was still connected with GI through the technical committees like the EDS committee. Now that I'm with Embry Riddle in Florida, I'm on the board of GI, which for the East Central, Florida East Central.
I wish we gave them less complicated names.
Right,
sometimes.
Yes, exactly.
We just call it the Jacksonville group sometimes.
Yes, or the Orlando group, or yes, it's East Central Florida. So I'm on the board of GI there, and also I started a student organization, GI student organization. We're the second, together with UCF, for Central East Central Florida. Earlier this year, our club won the first rank or the first place in the Geo Wall, which was a great deal because everyone doesn't think seriously about Embry Riddle, like geotech, Geo Wall, but we won the first place and we're very proud of it. And hopefully this year we're going to compete nationally. We go to Salt Lake City for the Geo-Congress.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yes.
That's such a breadth of involvement in GI.
Yes.
I think something that a lot of people don't realize, you talked about the monthly dinner meetings when you were involved with the Seattle chapter. I think a lot of people don't realize that these are all volunteer, organized, and put on and everything. The national GI staff does not really help very much with the local events. It's people who have 40-hour-a-week jobs who do this on top of everything that they're doing already.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess the pitch here, and then I'll let you talk a little more, is get involved with your local group. I mean, now you've done it in a couple different places, and we started the Mississippi chapter now. If you had been there during, if we had started it during your time at ERDIC, you probably would have gotten involved in the Mississippi chapter too. Just head to the website, join your local chapter.
Definitely, yes, and help with that. And for the GI, national, Sometimes they helped us with the speakers. Some of the
Yes.
speakers are being like for their travel, cost and accommodation, all of that. They help with that. So there's like more like a national level speaker pool where we can, you know, interact and invite them to the local dinner meetings. We're not there yet with the East Central Florida yet, but we're getting there. We're a very small group, but yeah, we'll see.
But it's a
what we can
lot
get.
of work, and definitely thank you for everything you do
Sure.
for GI.
Yes.
We've got to get back to some of these fun questions now.
Sure.
And I don't even know why I was thinking about this when I wrote this question, but here you go.
Okay.
If you
ready
could
for-
own any piece of art ever created, what would you choose?
Yeah, that's a difficult question because there are so many beautiful pieces of art out there in the world, and I myself like do enjoy art, and I wish I'm like, I don't know, 30 years ago probably I could have switched careers and became like a musician or an artist or a painter. I love colors. I love to look at paintings, stained glass, mosaic, all these. Yeah, I like the artistic side of humans. But if I would pick one, it has to be one of Van Gogh's paintings. I mean, he's the best. Like really, it's so beautiful, simple, expressing, and he lived such a tormented life. Yet he put his soul in these paintings, timeless paintings, and which we enjoy after 150 years, I guess. So if it was one painting, I would go with the Starry Night.
I love that answer because
Yeah.
when I was thinking about this, I thought maybe I'm too practical, but I started thinking about, well, I wouldn't want to own anything too famous because then someone might steal it. It might be a target. So I thought maybe I'd want something by a famous artist that wasn't one of their better known works. I got very analytical with it, and I had a really hard time.
No, I
thinking of
think I'm going to own it for a few days and put it back.
That's
Just
good. I like
enjoy
that.
it. Like, okay, I own this. Yeah. I think it belongs to everyone. But yes, I enjoy Van Gogh a lot. And I actually happened to see it in person in New York, and I saw a couple of his paintings in Amsterdam as well. So.
It is. I mean, and people don't realize that they can go to almost any major art museum probably in the U.S. and see a Van Gogh.
Yes.
I know in the National Gallery in Washington, D.C., there are
Correct.
several.
A portrait of his,
Yeah.
his most famous portrait of him is in Washington, D.C.
Fantastic experience. So I'd recommend that to anybody too
Sure.
when you're in the area. And also when you're in the area, another place you can go. I was so excited when I found out that you went to grad school at WVU because I thought we have to ask a question about that year. I believe you're the first person on Director's Cut with a degree from West Virginia University. And it's near and dear to my heart because my son attends WVU right now.
Wow.
So I had to ask you, Ghada, what are the 3 things that you love the most about Morgantown?
Yeah, okay, that could be a long answer. I'll try to shorten it. So I'm originally from Egypt, and Morgantown, West Virginia is the first place I lived in when I moved,
Wow.
when I moved to the U.S. So all the experiences I have for the first time to do something in the U.S. is automatically related to Morgantown. I could have experienced it anywhere else, but because I experienced it first in Morgantown, so this is what Morgantown is for me. I remember leaving Pittsburgh Airport, because that's the closest international airport to Morgantown, and there's a tunnel. You exit the tunnel, and all of a sudden you have the Appalachian Mountains and the trees in front of you. I felt like coming from Egypt, which is almost desert, to see this scenery. It was like amazing for me. And especially in the fall, when that was in the summer when I came for the fall, so I came in August. But then during the fall, when it changed the colors, I think it's the most beautiful.
Oh, it's amazing, yeah.
Yeah. Second thing I would say, seeing snow on Christmas Day for the first time. It doesn't snow in Egypt. We don't get snow at all, not even rain, maybe 3 days, 3 days during a year. So to see snow for the first time is so peaceful and amazing. The third one is kind of funny. We had a transport, a PRT.
Yeah.
The personal rapid transit, just like a small cars that go around the campus, and it doesn't have driver. And it was my first time to ride something that doesn't have a driver. So, I mean, it was funny for me to experience that. So those are the three things.
So can you describe to everybody how the PRT works? Because it's a really unique system.
Right.
Like if you want to take it from, we're going to drop some real
Medical
WVU
center.
knowledge here.
Medical
if you want to go
center.
from the medical center to
Engineer.
Evansdale,
Yes.
how would you do it?
Well, you swipe your card, and then it has a system that calculates how many passengers want to go from this station to that station, and it doesn't stop at different stations. So I think you just go from. Sometimes it opens the door for you. That means okay, there is a place for another passenger who wants to go to this station, and sometimes it just passes by you and doesn't open the door. So I think that's how it works. But it's amazing.
A fascinating system. And the
Yes.
cars hold, I think, something like 8 or 10 people at the
Correct.
max.
Yes.
I almost think of it like an elevator that
Could be.
moves on tracks because you're going directly from one place to another.
to
It's
another.
not like a subway where you have all these stops in between.
Correct. It has this algorithm that calculates how many passengers from here wants to go to here, and then again, if it opens the door for you, you're good to go. If it doesn't open the door, then next one is going to come.
So I think the other thing we have to ask about this, especially since it was the first place you went when you were in the U.S., did you have a college sports experience at Morgantown? Did you ever go to football or basketball or anything?
Yeah, Mountaineers. Go Mountaineers. College sport is not that famous in Egypt. So I did my undergrad and master's in Egypt, and then they came for PhD. So I had a lot of work to do as a PhD student, and I really didn't have time to to participate in the sports activities. But I was amazed. I think it was the end of the fall. There's the Sugar Bowl.
Oh yeah.
That's like and the
Well, if you have a good season.
West Virginia University at that time when I was there had a very good football team, and I learned that all the students took buses to go from Morgantown, West Virginia, to New Orleans, Louisiana, and I was like, why? Do you actually take all this just to cheer your fans? Yes, go Mountaineers. And I mean, I liked it. I was surprised, but it's not. I'm not an athletic person, unfortunately. But yeah.
So what year was that one then? Was that the?
It was, I think, 94, 95,
Okay, yep. So
something
maybe,
like that.
maybe 93. They had a running back. They had Amos Zaraway. That was like their big star player.
I mean, I can't remember names.
That's okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I was like 13, so sports was the only thing I thought about at that
Yes,
time, so.
exactly. But I was amazed. Really, you drive all this way just to cheer for your fan. Can't you watch it on TV, for example?
Not the same.
Yeah, that's right.
So now, you've mentioned Egypt. We have to talk about Egypt. I think,
Of course.
Every American probably thinks they know stuff about Egypt, but
Right.
mostly they know the basics of ancient Egyptian history.
Yes.
They know about the pyramids. Maybe they know about the Greeks in Alexandria and stuff
Yes.
like that. But that's kind of about it for most people. So for somebody planning to go to Egypt, Ghada, what are the 3 things everyone should see?
Well, you actually mentioned them. If you haven't seen the pyramids before, that's a must see. I mean, the Great Pyramid of Giza, the largest of them. Yeah, it's amazing. And it's actually a testimony that Egyptians are good civil engineers since since the dawn of history. I mean, they built this amazing structure that has been there for 4,500 years. So yeah, definitely the Great Pyramid of Giza. That's a must see. If you haven't seen it before, if you've seen it before, maybe you should go somewhere else or to see it. And I would definitely recommend the Grand Egyptian Museum, which opened just yesterday.
Oh, wow.
Yes, that's the largest museum in the world dedicated to one civilization. I think in the opening, they invited kings and queens and presidents, and it was a large opening yesterday. So I'm planning to go to Egypt after the semester, so that's on my to-do list, is to visit this museum. The third, I would say, a cruise in the Nile.
Oh.
Yeah, it's beautiful to enjoy the scenery, the food on the cruise, going from Cairo to Luxor. That's heading south. Luxor is where you find the Valley of the Kings,
Right.
the Valley of Queens. It's amazing. I mean, you look at the art and the colors, you think they were just painted yesterday. I think the arid climate of this region preserved the paintings and the colors. Can I add the fourth one?
Absolutely. There are no rules on Director's Cut.
Okay. My personal favorite is Alexandria. You mentioned the Roman and Greek civilizations there. You can visit the Roman amphitheater. They have the catacombs, those burial sites, Roman. Of course, the museum and the food. I mean, enjoying breakfast on a rooftop overlooking the Mediterranean, enjoying Egyptian food. That's seafood. That's a very unique experience. I think for me, maybe I'm biased, but I think Alexandria is one of the most beautiful cities in the world.
I don't think you're the only person to say that.
Really? Okay.
I feel like a lot of people think Alexandria is beautiful. So
Yes?
you can take your bias out of it. 'Cause
Okay.
I think it's just a nice place, I think. That's good. That's a good list. And yes, we always welcome bonus answers to that.
Sure.
It's
Okay.
fantastic.
Yes.
To wrap up, we have to talk about where we are now. This has been a great conference, Geo Extreme this week. Still more to come.
Yes.
For people who don't realize, you start planning for these things way, way, way in advance. Sometimes it's up to 3 years of planning for one of these conferences that's 3.5 days long, and then everybody goes home and it's over, and hopefully they don't forget about it. What's been the most exciting part for you about being involved with this Geo Extreme conference?
That it came to reality, that I get to see it happening, and all the the work with the reviewers and putting the panels together and the sessions together. I didn't do a lot of heavy lifting. I helped here and there. I contributed a paper myself. I'm the moderator of one of the sessions. But I guess it's fulfilling to see like how like Geo Extreme is like a platform for to showcase geotechnical engineering, and how is it important and plays an important role in tackling issues with sustainability and in face of extreme events, natural disasters. So I think you have this platform where innovation, research, design kind of meet together and have an impact on real life infrastructure that we experience every day. So yeah, it's very rewarding to be part of the organizing committee.
And that's a great answer. And don't downplay your contributions, because
mean,
we always tell people we really couldn't do this without all the volunteers, and we mean it. There is no way anything would happen, whether it's conferences or any of our live streams that we do on the YouTube channel. We would not be able to do any of this without our volunteers. So thank you for being on the program committee, and everything you did in the lead up to this conference, and I think it's been a pretty good week so far.
Yeah, definitely, and looking forward to Geo Extreme, was it 29?
Let's hope, right?
Yeah.
Whew. Well, you made it through all the questions, Ghada.
Sure,
Even
okay.
the bonus questions, everybody always makes it, but I still say it's an accomplishment, right?
Okay, thank you.
For our viewers, if you liked what you saw, and you probably did because you're here at the end, again, click like, subscribe, and get notifications. And yes, we will let you know every time we post something to the YouTube channel. Ghada, thank you so much for doing this
Thank
today.
you.
I hope it was fun.
Yes,
And it was easy. I told you it would be easy, and it's pretty easy.
Definitely. Thank you, Brad, for inviting me, and yeah.
And we will see everybody out there with another brand new episode of Director's Cut next week.